Member for Mirrabooka.
Thank you, Acting Speaker. It's always a tough act to follow the member from Mount Lawley, and he provides a really important lesson about use of time, which is very salient for my contribution because I've given it a subtitle of the 7 things I loved about 2023. So in the event I run out of time, people will be able to tell because I won't quite get to the requisite number. So it is Valentine's Day today, and so I thought for the purposes of this contribution I would talk about some of the things that I have loved about last year, and I think in doing that, that foreshadows really the things that will be front of mind as we go into 2024. Now, I sort of hasten to add that these items aren't really in either an ascending or a descending order. I've sort of found it impossible to rank them, to be honest. And so I'd simply say, for the purposes of the record, that they're like my children. I love them all equally for their own unique reasons. So people can perhaps reflect what the order might genuinely be in. But I did want to talk about some of the things that have been on my mind over the summer recess, and the things that I love about our community, love about what this government is doing. Now, the first of those is food. And for anyone who knows me, you won't be surprised to see that that's on the list. And I think I'm incredibly fortunate to represent a community that consistently delivers incredibly delicious traditional food. I've said on other occasions that if you want to try some of the best Vietnamese food in Perth, you need to go to Girraween. We have so many excellent local food places to try, including Viet Town, which is just off Girraween Avenue, or off Marangaroo Drive in Girraween you'll find Trangs and Pho Phong. And Pho Phong was recently included on the list of the best 100 restaurants in Perth, so it is indeed a great place to eat. Now, if you're into banh mi rolls, there's again an excellent selection, including MCQ, which is in the Mirrabooka shops, Ben Tra in Mirrabooka Village. They've been making banh mi rolls since before it was a cult classic dish or sandwich. So they've actually been making authentic fresh rolls there for many years. And if you are there at the right time, you might actually see them crush a fresh sugarcane drink before your eyes on this enormous metal contraption that turns sugarcane into a sweet, delicious, refreshing drink. Now, there's more to great food in Mirrabooka than just Vietnamese, and I want to give a special shout out to Streets Oasis in Girraween. They cook incredible, fresh, flavoursome Thai street food. It's a very small shop. There's only a couple of tables available if you want to eat in, but they do extensive delivery, extensive catering, and they make incredible, fresh, delicious food. And I want to give them a special shout out because they recently welcomed a baby into their family. I also wanted to talk about Beck, who runs the Sally's Micro Bakery in Girraween, and if people follow my social media, you'll know that I am a huge fan of their freshly baked sourdough loaves. You have to order them basically 2 weeks in advance, and she makes them to order, and you pick them up on a Sunday morning. Now, if you follow her social media, you will literally see her grind the wheat on a Friday that gets turned into the fresh loaves that you collect on a Sunday morning. So it is incredibly fresh, handmade with love, and it's fantastic. So I'm a big fan of Beck and her Sally's Micro Bakery in Girraween. If you like to make your own, we've got a huge selection of authentic multicultural grocery stores. We've got 2 fresh food markets. One's called the Friday Markets at Mirrabooka, and one's the Saturday Swap Meet in New Park Shops. But when I think about the food of Mirrabooka, it's impossible not to reflect on the incredible home-cooked multicultural food that I get to enjoy all year at the many multicultural events that I'm very fortunate to attend. So mohinga, made by the many people who have originated from Myanmar, the incredible variety of food served at many of the African community events is incredible. I've had many fabulous experiences with Indian communities and their incredible food, and I want to give a special shout out to the Gujarati seniors who meet in Girraween twice a week and always cook amazing fresh food that they then serve and share together, and of course the Vietnamese food that we enjoy so often with the Vietnamese seniors in Kandula. Nothing tastes better than food that's been made with love, and I'm so fortunate to enjoy much of it in Mirrabooka and the surrounding areas. The second thing that made my list of the top 7 things, and this might cause a bit of mirth, but Taylor Swift is on my list of the things that I loved about last year, and of course her concerts kick off this weekend in Australia. Now, there's of course a lot to love about her in terms of the sequins and the pop tunes, but I think there's some really important lessons there. And that's part of the reason why I've included her on the list. So the first thing that I reflect on, that I've learned, I guess, from being a fan, is that you should work hard. And one thing about her, even though she is perhaps relatively young, she works hard. Her concerts are 3 hours long. She performs on stage, singing, dancing, often in the rain or hot weather. She does it night after night. She's been producing music since she was about 15 years old. And I think it's a really important reminder that success comes to those who work hard. It's rarely an overnight thing, and that you should always work hard for the things that you want to achieve well in. The second lesson is really you should never forget your base or your fans. And that's one thing she's always done, is put her fans first, worked on having a direct relationship with them, and they, in return, have loved her and rewarded her for that commitment to putting fans first. Now, I think that's really important for people in this place. It's an important lesson for us all. You should never forget your base. You should never forget your electorate. You should never forget the people who make it all possible, and keep them always at the centre of everything that you do. And the third lesson really I take away is really you should know your worth. And I think she's often been underestimated throughout her career. But she's always had a lot of confidence in her own abilities and a clear vision of what she wanted to do, and it's paid off for her. She's now one of the most successful recording artists of all time, and I think it is important to always remember your worth, build a relationship with your fans, and use that to, in fact, grow your brand. So I, for one, am looking forward to Swift Mania descending on Australia, and I'll enjoy the spectacle of it, but take some serious lessons away from that as well. Acting Speaker, the third thing on the list of things I've loved about 2023, and this is very much on my mind as we go into 2024, and that is our schools. I've talked many times in this place about the incredible work that our schools are doing every day, not just in my community in Mirrabooka, but indeed all around the state. But I am incredibly proud of the work that our local schools do. Girraween Senior High School won an Education Award for Teaching and Learning in 2022, underlining the incredible work that they're doing to deliver important education to the people in the kids in my community. Balga Senior High School received a mention on the Triple J Unearthed Indigenous program just a couple of years ago as well. So again, being able to perform at a national and get recognition at a national level. But every day I'm incredibly proud of our students and the things that they are achieving, and I'm very grateful to everyone who contributes to that, to all the staff, to the teachers, the education assistants, particularly the Aboriginal education officers as well, and of course to the school leaders. But school communities are more than the people who work in schools, and I want to take this opportunity to record my thanks to the many parents who are also such an essential part of our school communities, especially those who are part of P&Cs or our school boards, and I want to thank them for all of their work. I also want to acknowledge the fantastic work that some of our community organisations do, again working in partnership in our schools. So organisations like the Girraween Lions, who contribute significant financial resources to many of the schools in my area, 12 Buckets, who I've spoken about previously, who provide volunteers, EdConnect, who provide volunteers, and many others as well. The parents, the staff, the community organisations and myself all share a passion for providing our young people with opportunities and the best chance to succeed. And I'm happy to say that our schools are helping to produce some outstanding community leaders. Education transforms the lives of our young people, and I'm inspired every day by the people I meet in and around our schools. And I'm really pleased, Acting Speaker, that our schools are able to do even more outstanding work as a result of the good work of this government. We have just signed a new agreement with the federal government which will deliver an additional $1.6 billion into WA schools. It's an outstanding achievement. It will go to the public schools that need it most in the first instance, and while those details are still being determined, I look forward to seeing how this significant boost in school funding will allow our great schools in the Mirrabooka electorate, and in fact all around the state, to do even more of their good work. We've also done a lot to improve infrastructure and provide support to students. In Balga, we're building a new performing arts centre at the high school. We've also transformed classrooms into STEM labs at primary schools around the electorate. And I made a number of small commitments to help our local schools, things like class sets of iPads, interactive whiteboards, and all abilities play equipment, to make sure that our schools can do even more of their very important work. As a government, we've increased the number of school psychologists, and we've introduced career counsellors to provide the wraparound support services that will help students succeed. I love our schools, and I love meeting the students and staff and community members and parents who are a part of delivering a world-class education. I love visiting schools and seeing the great work that they're doing, and I look forward to doing much more of that in 2024. Number 4 on the list of things that I loved about 2023 is the Matildas, because how good were they? Now, of course, we all loved the Matildas' hysteria that gripped the nation during the Women's World Cup. It was fantastic to see them play, and you know, there's so many outstanding moments. It's impossible to forget the France versus Australia penalty shootout and that Sam Kerr goal in the England v Australia match. But one of the things I loved about the Matildas as well is, again, the great lessons that I think they brought and showed us all. Now, the soccer was great, but they really also, I think, showed us something about high-performance teams, that those high-performance teams are never about just a single player. It's always about the strength of the whole team, about the determination, the focus, the shared goal. And I just want to say, Acting Speaker, it is so good to be part of the WA Labor team in this government, because we, I think, are a great team. We share experience, strength, determination and focus to succeed, and that is what we will continue to bring in 2024. I did also want to reflect that the standout moments for me in the Women's World Cup was partly watching the Matildas play, but it was also watching the way they inspired young women football players in our community. A standout moment for me was watching the young women from Balga Senior High School run out onto the pitch as flag bearers in the Haiti versus Denmark game here in Perth. They were so excited, I was so excited and proud for them. It was fantastic. And to be a part of the Women's World Cup aspiration days that were held at Balga Senior High School and Safety Bay Senior High School, where we brought together about 100 young women from neighbouring schools to learn about soccer, but also teamwork and the mental game that contributes to success. Our state government is also doing incredible things to support the next generations of Matildas, and so continuing that legacy of building the ground from the grassroots up. We named the football centre, the State Football Centre, the Sam Kerr Football Centre, and we've invested $2.4 million into a grants program to help improve facilities and infrastructure for clubs who participate in the NPL women's competition. These are commitments that will grow the game for young women and girls into the future, and I can't wait to see what the next generation of our women soccer players will look like. Now, number 5 on the list of things I've loved, and this again will be an important consideration as we go forward into 2024, is being a part of a government that delivers. Now, members, as many of us would agree, I put my hand up for Parliament because I want it to make a difference to the lives of everyday people. I want to be part of a government that gets things done, a government that makes life better, a government that does what's right for WA. And members, it is such a pleasure to be part of this Labor government, because that is exactly what we're doing. We're getting things done, we're doing what's right for WA. It's been a hallmark of this government since being elected in 2017, and will continue to be a focus and drive so much of the work we do. Now, there's a great deal to talk about here, and time will stop me from listing them all, but I did want to talk about some of the really important things that we're delivering that are making a real difference to the people that I represent in the community of Mirrabooka. Members, we've done a lot. We've delivered $1,400 in electricity credits to every household in WA over the last 3 years. We've delivered free public transport every Sunday for everyone, and for school students travelling to and from school Monday to Friday, all you need is a smart rider. We have delivered a one-off payment to grand carers, foster carers and other carers of $500 for the first child in care and $250 for subsequent children. We've increased the cost of living rebate for seniors with a seniors card and brought back the $400 seniors safety and security rebate that was axed by the Liberal National Government. We're upgrading the Balga TAFE with a huge $47.9 million redevelopment. We've made more than 130 TAFE courses available fee-free, which will help our young people into skilled jobs that will set them up for life. We are building Metronet, the largest investment in public transport ever in WA. This transformational project includes 72 kilometres of rail and 23 new stations. It includes the Morley-Ellenbrook line and a new station in Malaga. We've brought rail manufacturing back to WA. We're funding upgrades to important intersections in our community through the Black Spot program, including the corner of Girraween Ave and Marangaroo Drive. We've delivered land and funding for a Vietnamese community cultural centre to be built in the heart of Girraween, and we've rolled out free tampons in high schools and TAFEs around the state. We've done all these things, and we're doing much, much more beside. This government is delivering every day, delivering infrastructure that will improve our state for generations to come, delivering real cost of living relief to people, delivering a safety net of support to people who need it most, and delivering hope and opportunity to people and to their communities, transitioning the economy, ensuring we're creating jobs of the future. We're strengthening our economy and our communities and making our society fairer. Members, it is a joy to be a part of a government that is experienced, that knows how to deliver, and members, can I say, I absolutely love it. Acting Speaker, can I have an extension, please?
Extension granted.
I look forward to doing more of this important work delivering for our community in 2024. The list of achievements is long, but there is still much work to do, and I know we are all committed to delivering for the people of Western Australia. I wanted to talk in the sixth thing that's on my list of things I loved about the good people of Mirrabooka, because they are the best. And as I've said earlier, I think it is important that our communities, our electorates, our people remain at the heart of everything we do. I want to say how much I've appreciated all the people who've turned out for mobile officers, who stopped to chat when I was door knocking or phoning, for the people who've welcomed me to their sports clubs, to their seniors groups, to their many multicultural celebrations and community events. I want to thank all of the people of Mirrabooka for their friendship, for their support, and I also want to thank them for the fact they can be relied on all occasions to tell it straight. And I do appreciate that. So whether they're telling me what we're doing well or where we need to do better, I really appreciate all of the feedback I receive. I take it all seriously, and I thank people for taking the time to share it with me. I want to particularly take this opportunity to acknowledge Marangaroo local Coral Jebb, who recently passed away at the age of 80. Coral was one of the stalwarts of the Girraween Condoolers Seniors Club. She was a member of that organisation for 10 years and volunteered as club secretary and as social event coordinator. Every time I visited this seniors group, she was there with a smile and a kind word in the front office, quietly organising the day's events with the other committee members. Sadly, Coral passed away in January, shortly after celebrating her 80th birthday. I wanted to take this opportunity to record my thanks for Coral and her service to our community. She is one of the many people in our community who volunteers and quietly goes on with the business of making life better for others without fuss and without actively seeking recognition. It was a great honour to be able to attend Coral's funeral recently and learn more about her life and her early days. I will miss Coral a great deal, and I know she will be deeply missed by her large extended family and the members of the Girrawheen Kandoola seniors. Acting Speaker, I also wanted to give a special shout out today to Bernice Toledo, one of my special constituents. Bernice has today retired from her employment at St John Hospital in Subiaco after 52 years. Bernice started work there as a 20-year-old who had recently arrived from Burma as a migrant. She was employed by the nuns who at that time ran the hospital, and she's worked there continuously for 52 years. Now in her 70s, she's decided it's time to retire. Bernice is one of the most generous and kind people I know. She's brought those qualities to her patient care at St John of God Hospital for 52 years, and she continues to bring those qualities to her extensive work in our community. And I want to take this opportunity to thank her for her service to our patients, to thank her for her work in the community, and wish her well for a very well-deserved retirement. These are just two of the wonderful people that are part of the Mirrabooka community, and they underline the commitment to service, the commitment to community, and the open-heartedness that I think is a wonderful aspect of people who live in and around Mirrabooka and its surrounding suburbs. I also want to give a special shout out to all of the volunteers and supporters in the community who at different times have turned out to be part of working with me to build a strong and connected community in the electorate. I want to say to you all, thank you for sharing my passion for the community and working so hard to make it better for everyone. And can I say, in the spirit of Valentine's Day, to all of the supporters and volunteers, that I love you and appreciate you all. And finally, in the list of things I loved about 2023, I wanted to take this opportunity to put on the record once again my thanks and love to my family. We all know that this life can be hard on family and friends. There can be long hours, and I'm told politicians can perhaps sometimes be difficult to live with. Yeah, I'm not sure that's true, but that's what I'm told. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to my partner Matthew, to our sons Adam and Jeremy, and tell them that I love them very much. Creating memories together, seeing particularly the achievements of my sons and their successes gives me so much joy and happiness. I want to thank them for their support and for their tolerance of the life and work that I have chosen to do. I look forward to more adventures with my family as we go into 2024 and towards election time, and I'm sure there'll be many family outings, door knocking and undertaking many other community events. So I want to take this opportunity to thank them all three of them, for their love, for their support, and to say I could not do this without them. Acting Speaker, I'll take this opportunity to bring my comments to a close. I did want to take this opportunity to wish everyone a very happy Valentine's Day as we work here until 7 tonight. I'm not sure whether people will have many dinner dates this evening. I hope that people find that this day is full of things that they love, but mostly I want to say how much I'm looking forward to 2024. I love being a part of this government. I'm so proud of the work that we're doing. It's so great to see the real difference that it's making in my community in Mirrabooka, and in fact that it's making all around the state. I look forward to being a part of the Cook Labor government, all the fantastic things that we'll achieve, and with that I'll conclude my remarks and wish everyone well for 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Member.